Whereas like in a healthy relationship, unconditional love exists and toxic love does not, because you're unconditionally loving the person.
This is 30 going on 13. So I'm in my 30s, but I feel like I'm just now learning things that I wish I would have learned when I was 13. Turns out I have a lot of learning and healing to do, and this is where I'm going to do it. So let's go. It's time to grow.
A word was said to me today that I think is so relevant to definitely this conversation, and it's unconditional love. That I think is like at the core of what we're talking about, at the core of growth. What comes up is like unconditional love is someone who supports your growth even when it like is to their disadvantage.
Yeah.
So do you want to talk about your unhealthy relationships, or continuously finding yourself in unhealthy relationships versus unconditional love?
Yes. I think I'm learning now what unconditional love looks like. And to go to the unhealthy relationship side of things, I've always been in unhealthy relationships. And that also brings me to something else I wanted to talk about, which is toxic love versus healthy love. And this is something that I have recently been able to discover for myself. I don't know if other people view love like this, but I feel like you can love someone in very different ways. Like, I think I loved my ex-boyfriends, but I think it was a toxic love. Whereas like what I'm hoping for to have in a relationship is a healthy love, which I think looks very different than the loves that I've experienced. So I wanted to talk about that with you because I think that's really interesting. So I wasn't always in unhealthy relationships because of this. Well, number one, not knowing them before I started being boyfriend and girlfriend with them.
Thank you for bringing that up, because I was going to start there as well.
Yeah. Like, I didn't even know them and agreed to move in with them, or agreed to be their girlfriend. So I didn't know them, which obviously was a terrible start. And then once I did start to know them, I was like you, where I wouldn't leave because I was so loyal and I was so committed to the relationship. And I would just find myself at that point, like a year in, like, oh, this doesn't feel right. Oh, we're yelling a lot. Oh, like this is getting to the aggressive side of things. Okay, this doesn't feel right. This feels wrong. But then it would be so bad and fighting and so low. The lows were so low in those relationships that it made the highs feel so unbelievably high. When you're up here and you're feeling so high in a relationship, it feels like nothing else. It feels like you won the lottery. But I think that's toxic love. And I think that there's that chase of that high throughout that relationship, because you're mostly down here in the lows. And then, so your goal is to now, when am I going to get that high again? When am I going to get that high again? How am I going to get there? Oh, let me do this for him. Let me do that for him. Let me do this. Let me be this kind of person because I know it could get us up to the high point again. And it was just like this constant game of winning this person's love in order to experience those highs, because I thought that's what love was, and like that's where I wanted to always be. Whereas now, the way that I view love is a more baseline, equilibrium, consistent, secure, dare I say boring. I say boring because coming from those toxic highs and lows, a healthy, safe, secure relationship can appear boring to someone like me, and I think like you too. If people don't experience toxic love and they just experience that, baseline secure love, then they probably wouldn't say it's boring. But coming from where I've come from, I'm nervous that it can appear boring for me, because there is no push-pull, there is no toxicity, and it would be just this baseline happiness, which really, in reality, doesn't feel as fulfilling as those highs that I was getting in my toxic relationships, because I had the contrast of the low. Whereas in a healthy relationship, it's just one level. So like to have that consistency of love, unconditional love, I think is, like I said, could be boring, could feel unfulfilling, could feel like it's not love. And I think that's my way to end this little tangent I'm going on. A healthy love for me, for someone like me coming from toxic love, a healthy love doesn't actually feel like love. So I feel like I am now, at 31 years old, creating a new definition of love and literally rewiring my brain to understand that that toxicity that I experienced was not actually love, or at least healthy love.
Yeah, I was going to say all of those words that we just said come up when I'm thinking about that. So unconditional love, toxic love, and unhealthy relationships, I feel like all go hand in hand. Where in a toxic love situation, you definitely don't have unconditional love, because, for example,
Yes.
you're not in a toxic love, you're not even talking about the person. You're not even talking about loving the person. You're talking about loving the things that go on in the relationship and the highs and the lows and the chase. Like, that is not even the person that you're talking about.
That's so true.
Whereas, like, in a healthy relationship, unconditional love exists and toxic love does not, because you're unconditionally loving the person.
My headphones flew off.
I was gonna say, headphones are not even... Wow, that was a headphone drop moment, not a mic drop moment.
I'm back. Sorry. Whoa.
Mind blown?
Whoa, yeah,
You
because
know?
because everything I just said for like those 3 minutes, I've thought about before. I've had these thoughts recently, but I have not put that final puzzle piece together, that the toxic love was just the thrill of the chase, of the good times, of feeling finally accepted and loved by my person. And it was just that feeling of being accepted. That's what I was in love with, was that feeling. Whereas when you experience unconditional, true love, you actually are in love with the person.
And you're able to make difficult decisions with regard to relationships because you have unconditional love for the person. And your main concern and your main love unconditionally is the person, and therefore their growth. So you're able to handle hard situations better with grace.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're not concerned with, I mean, it's not even so much that you're not concerned, but those things don't even exist. The thrill of the chase, the alcohol fights, the everything else that goes along with toxic relationships, which I for sure know. That stuff is not even there to deal with. All you're worried about is that person unconditionally. So you're willing to go through hard stuff for them and with them because you genuinely just love them, and none of the stuff that is what's actually toxic love.
Wow. Yeah.
Relevant?
I think... More than, yes. I completely agree with that. I think unconditional love is like a commitment to that person's growth. Remember the podcast I talked to you about at Run Club that one time, the 2 definitions of commitment?
Yes.
That was interesting too. One definition of commitment is, what was it? Oh, we're gonna have to pull it up. It was like a sacrifice of one's freedom of action or something like that.
That sounds almost exactly right. Yeah, I think it's a sacrifice of one's freedom and independence.
Yeah.
Commitment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the second definition of commitment was
a dedication to a cause or a person.
Thank you. I knew you knew that one. Right. So the first definition makes relationship or a commitment to someone sound like you're taking away from yourself and lessening yourself. But the second definition, and the second way to look at commitment, is a dedication to something, which is actually enlarging you as a person and the relationship. And why did I bring that up? What were we talking about before that?
To me, I think that a dedication to someone, that is unconditional love. That is dedicating yourself to someone and loving them unconditionally, which also goes hand in hand with seeing them grow.
Right, yeah.
Even if that means making hard decisions.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's so crazy how this whole conversation is happening right now, because a year ago, I couldn't even put these words together. And now we're having this conversation, and it's just wild to see my growth. And I know you've experienced a ton of growth too within only a year. We haven't even been friends for a year yet, by the way.
Yeah, that's so wild.
We've been friends for, I think, like 10 months now, right?
It's crazy.
Around then. But I would like to say that we have grown so much within these 10 months of our friendship. Like I said earlier, our friendship has grown, but us as individuals have grown. And I think a lot of that growth has to do with having each other in our lives.
I definitely agree.
That's crazy to think about.
I definitely agree. And I mean, the gym for me...
Technical difficulties here.
The gym for me is not new, but I think that... I was having this conversation actually recently with regard to architecture, but the physical growth always goes along with the mental growth.
Oh, yeah.
Like I struggle with like talking about doing the hard things, because that is where I struggle. Like I get way too crazy with doing hard things. So to me, the hard thing is never the hard thing to most people. The hard thing is like not doing the hard thing. But anyway, the going through hard things and like building that self-confidence every single day shows up, I think, more in your mental than actually in your physical.
Yeah.
Like building that self-confidence, I that's what it was. Someone asked me recently what was something that contributed to your professional career. And it was an architecture student, so I responded in a way that I think that she was very surprised, because she was probably expecting me to say something like, oh, this job, or this person, or this project.
Or this book.
Yes, or that class, that professor, or something like that. And I said, the gym. Because that's the place where you build the confidence in yourself to leave situations that aren't serving you anymore, or like deal in the uncertainty, or have the confidence to like be uncomfortable, because you know you're gonna be okay. Like you actually are physically and mentally strong enough to make it through literally anything.
Yeah, I agree. I think that I think people look at the gym as a place to go to look good and to feel good, because you're working out and it helps you feel good and look good. But for both of us, it's definitely a mental thing. I know, like, when I'm doing reps that I don't want to be doing, I'm like, God, please, I want to go home. But it's just that mental battle, like, every single time. And I think that has contributed a lot to both of our growth within the last 10 months. But I would like to note the difficulty with balance of the gym, because the gym gives us so much pleasure, and the mental battle that we experience at the gym, it's really hard to not want it, because like once you crush a workout, coming out of that gym, you're just like, oh, I can do anything. And like that feeling is just, it's such an incredible feeling that I know for both of us, it's hard not to want that feeling every day. And obviously we're humans, we can't work out every day. We should not work out every day. And so just like a quick little topic here I would like to touch on is balancing recovery with working out with the gym, and how difficult not the workouts are, but the canceling the class, how difficult that is.
Yeah, that's the part that I struggle with. It's why the content that I put out as far as the gym goes, I'm sure nobody really knows this, to be honest, because not many people know that this is the part that I struggle with, and like to the extent to which I struggle with it. But I'm pretty careful never to say like doing the hard work, or just get it done type of thing, or like consistency is key, like stuff like that. I try really hard. I shouldn't even say I try hard. It just doesn't come to me because that is actually not how my brain is wired. My
Right.
brain is wired that like that's just a part of my life. And so for me, the hard part is not going. The hard part is not going is canceling the class. I mean anybody who knows me and has ever had that type of conversation with me, I get it that I really struggle with that. And so like taking the rest and taking the time to have balance, I for sure do not have it figured out, but I am trying.
I have to give you credit though that you have gotten better, because when we first started our friendship, you were going to the gym, you were going to OG every day. You didn't have a rest day. It would be so rare for you, I think, in the beginning to actually cancel a class. And if you did cancel, it was because you had something for work or like horseback riding or something. And now, with many talks with you and help from someone else, you have definitely been able to at least get one recovery day in a week.
Yeah.
As far as I know, unless you're lying to me.
No, I'm not lying. But even like every Monday that comes around, which is supposed to be my rest day, I am hearing how good the workout is, and it is so tempting. It's very hard for me to stay away and to like really live in that balance. So thank you for talking me off the ledge on multiple occasions. And also thank you for acknowledging that I have gotten better, because I do think back to like days. I mean, I hope none of my coworkers listen to this, but there have been for sure days that I would take off of work just so that I could go to the gym. Mm-hmm. Like that was a real thing. And thankful for growth to have gotten away from that level of obsession.
Yeah.
Because I have, can I say how I call myself?
Yes.
Okay, I'm a whole ass bitch. Like that I do everything whole ass. So my obsession tends to take over things, which is why I think that in the past I'm in a relationship and the person feels safe and secure with me because they know that I'll never leave because I am loyal beyond belief and just obsessed with things. When like I'm in something, I'm really, really in something. So having the balance of the gym and taking rest days and not going when you're super sore and not going just to check the box, like all of that type of stuff. If you are that girl, then I resonate with you because I understand how hard that is. It's so hard for me to not go.
And I think you can still challenge yourself to do even better with recovering, because you even Run Club, you go every Sunday morning and it's just a promise that you made to yourself, but would love for you to just walk more at Run Club when we've had a really heavy leg day on Saturday, or when your body is just like in need of rest. And I've been trying to convince her to get a Whoop, which is my fitness band that I wear every day, to track her recovery, because I think it's absolutely terrible because she works so much, she works out so much, and she doesn't sleep. And that's all you need for like a good recovery. I feel like if you were to have the visual representation of what you're actually doing to your body by overworking yourself, you might be like, oh. And that's honestly, this Whoop has completely changed my relationship with the gym, because I have a picture, I have a visual to look at and be like, oh, I'm in the red today. My body is literally only 25% recovered. How am I about to go move 130 pounds of weight today? So yeah, I mean, I feel like for you, you've said like the Whoop would scare you because you know how unrecovered you are. But I think like down the road, that could be a new challenge for you. Be in the green. Like, be in the green.
Be in the green. That needs to be a t-shirt.
And it's so, I think I don't know if we talked about this on the last episode, but we've joked that I always start my conversations with Kay in the morning of like, I'm 52% recovered today, and I always update her on my recovery. It's just such a big part of my relationship with the gym and having a healthy, I truly believe I have a healthy relationship with the gym, finally. And it took me pretty quick. I mean, it's only been 10 months that I've been going, but in the beginning, it was really hard. I was going all the time. I felt so guilty to miss a class. But now that I do have the Whoop and I'm able to see my recovery, I base it, like if I wake up at 4 a.m. and I'm 17% recovered, I'll cancel class and eat the $8 fee because my body needs sleep. My body needs to be still today, and that's what my body needs. And that also, I think, goes into like mental health too. The days that I go on the red, I don't feel good. I'm just like more anxious those days. Like I just don't feel good. So I highly recommend, number 1, getting a Whoop, and number 2, recovering.
I'll think about it.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Well, then that's going to wrap up our little chit chat because it's been an hour and we have to go to Run Club in the morning. But I do want to play a game before you leave.
Okay.
And it's the same game we played last time.
Oh my God.
That was a huge hit, by the way. And the one reel that we made, I just checked yesterday just because I haven't checked in a while. But it was the one where I say, like, I love when a guy touches your lower back. And that one's at 80,000 views now.
Stop. Oh my God.
So, obviously, I have to bring the game back. I love when a guy, and now 6 months later from the last time we did this game.
Get comfortable.
Yeah, go ahead.
80K? Damn, that's so wild.
So since it's been 6 months since the last time we played this game, I feel like our answers are going to be a little different now than they were 6 months ago. So I thought it'd be interesting to do it again.
Oh my God, I have no ammo. Okay, all right.
You want me to go first?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, we talked about this today. I love when a guy is reliable.
Oh.
Let's do maybe like 1 to 2 explanation sentences with
Okay.
it. So I love when a guy is reliable. And I think that if you say you're going to do something, you have to do it. And if you don't, it's such a turn off. Okay, your turn. You can speak on that one if you want to add 1 sentence or 2.
I feel like this is going to come out messy, but I'm just going to say this one. I love when a guy answers my text message, which I think is something that I said 6 months ago last time, but I mean it even more so now because it goes off of what you were saying. I love when a guy is reliable. Mm-hmm. When I text you and my dumb brain is used to avoidant men and doesn't think that they're going to answer the phone. And when I text you that I have an urgent, serious question and you text me back immediately, I am like, oh, we are dealing with somebody who is different here. Yeah.
Oh my God, it's like the best feeling. It's so hot. It's so attractive.
I just remembered it. I just remembered it.
What you wanted to say?
Yes.
Okay, go.
I'm going to say it to you like off and then we'll decide what we want to do. A question that somebody asked me recently, a question that somebody asked me recently is, what is something that guys do that they think is hot that girls actually hate?
What a good question. This is perfect
do you
for
want
our
to know my
game.
answer?
Yeah.
Are we good with this? Should I like re-ask the question?
No, that was perfect.
Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, so the question was, what is something that guys do that they think is hot that girls actually hate?
I love this.
My answer was asking you where you want to go for dinner. Because a guy thinks that they're, letting you be an empowered woman and have a choice, have a voice in the decision and, where do you want to go? No. Make the reservation. Tell me when to be ready. That is 10,000 times hotter than asking me what I want to do, where I want to go. No, make the plans.
100% agree. When they ask you anything, like, if they're going to get you a gift and they'll ask you, like, what kind of gift you want, like, just get it. Just do. Even if it ends up being something that the girl doesn't like, the thought and the gesture of just making that decision will outweigh. Like, I don't think there's a wrong answer. You think, what?
No, I have so many things that I want to talk about now.
Oh, okay. Well, I have one, too, about the question you just asked.
We have so many topics to talk about now.
You're going to have to come back.
I know. Okay.
So something that a guy does that they think is hot that's not. Is this our new game instead?
Yeah.
Okay. We're switching gears here, guys. So I think that a lot of men think that loud motorcycles or loud cars is like a really hot thing, especially cars, or also big cars like pickup trucks. I don't know why men think that loud, big cars is hot. It doesn't matter to me. I hate loud noises. How many times are we together and a loud car passes and we curse at the car?
It's actually the most alarming thing. Like, it goes through my body.
Yes.
I hate it.
They want us to be like, oh my God, hi.
Yeah.
And it's like, no.
No.
Like, shut that off.
I actually went, this was years ago. I went out with somebody who had a car like that.
Ugh.
The whole souped up, whatever. It was very, very loud. The worst part was being in this man's car.
Oh, no.
Because then he would try to talk to me while we were in the car, and I couldn't hear
him.
a word he was saying. He had every window down. I'm like, cool, I'm so glad I did my hair for this date. This is the first date that you're taking me on. Let me just open every single window on the planet Earth.
What?
And then try to have a conversation with you in my souped up Subi.
No.
I was like, you won't see me again, sorry.
I don't
and
think
he never did.
I don't think I would have gotten in the car. If a loud, big pickup truck type car came to pick me up, I would just not answer.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I got really sick.
It's red flaggy.
Yeah.
Real red flaggy. I hate that. Oh,
All right, your turn. Do you have another one?
Something that guys do that they think is actually hot but is not is asking you what you want and need, then not giving you what you want and need, then asking you again what you want and need, then maybe giving it to you or maybe not, then they ask again, and then they give it to you, and now you do not want it anymore.
Mm-hmm. Tell them how you really feel. Yo, I can't. That's the bad one. I don't think, yeah. We're going to leave that there. Okay, so something that guys think is hot that is actually not is being loud and obnoxious and like rude and mean to people to be funny. You know who I'm thinking of? Avril.
That was who I thought you were thinking of.
Okay,
Yes.
that's exactly who I was thinking of. Just like so extra, so loud, so obnoxious, cursing and like making fun of people and just, ugh, no. And I think they think that being loud and being noticed is hot and attractive, but sometimes it's just like being humble and quiet and reserved is actually hotter.
Yeah, I would say that there's a big distinction with what I just said in terms of being in your masculine energy, making the plans, making the reservations, telling her to just be ready, here at this time. And I think it sort of can be misconstrued with some people who think that that's like a controlling personality type. And I think that those are two very different things. What I'm saying is that is an act of being in your masculine energy and having control over your control, versus what you're saying of someone who is obnoxious. That is a showy, like, loss of your own control.
Totally different.
Totally different.
Yeah.
Totally different. Like, just make the dinner plans, but be nice to everyone when we get there.
Yes. Thank you. Your turn.
Something that guys do that they think is hot that is actually not. Doing nice things and nice gestures that are generally nice things and gestures that anyone would be like, wow, that was really sweet, but is not actually the way to speak to your heart.
Oh, yeah.
I'll give you an example. We love mangoes.
We love dried mangoes.
Love them with a passion. We have our specific brands that we like. We love our mangoes. We love our snacks.
Yeah.
But we're particular about our snacks.
We're healthy eaters.
Healthy eaters, right. So if a guy is saying, oh, let me do something nice for her. Let me buy her flowers. That's nice. Buying flowers is sweet. That's nice. But if you really knew me, then you would instead buy me my favorite brand of dried mangoes over the flowers. And that would be the most thoughtful gift that you could get me. It will definitely be cheaper than flowers. They will not last longer.
Definitely will not last longer.
But that is super thoughtful versus something that is, yes, nice, but like thoughtless.
Mm-hmm. For you, because I like flowers, so I would be good with flowers. I think like for me it would be if a guy got me chocolate, I will not eat it because I don't eat anything bad. But if they got me dried mangoes, in love. Mm-hmm. I don't think I have any more. I can't think of any more. Can you? No. Okay, so that will conclude our new game. Thanks for asking that question.
Anytime.
I loved that.
Thank you to that person for asking me that question because I thought that was actually like fire.
Yeah, that's such a fun question. And now we're gonna, once we end this, we're gonna think of so many more, but we'll save them for next time. So thank you so much for coming on again. It was so fun. We could literally be here for another 2 hours, but it's like 11:30 probably, 11. I know, let's pretend I didn't say that. And we have to go to bed. So this is where we'll end. Thank you for coming. I love you so much. I'm so excited to have you on again because I feel like each time you come on, it's just so much growth that happens in between, at least so far. So thank you again for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been so much fun as usual. And I hope to come back because I think that we have scratched just the surface. Man. What a can of worms that we have really opened. Like Run Club tomorrow is going to be super lit. Can't wait.
Can't wait.
That's where we do most of our debriefing. Maybe not most because we'll
do it everywhere.
At Lulu's and we'll be at the park and then we'll all the things. But anyway, I hope to come back. Also, I hope you guys want me back.
Of course they do. They loved our other episodes together. Also, since you mentioned Run Club, something that was so cute that I think we have to bring back was when I went, I think it was last week, I took notes on that podcast and I read the notes from the podcast during our run and we were debriefing the podcast together. That's something we should do moving forward. We'll switch every week who talks about which podcast. I think that'd be so fun because we talk so much about our lives, but I think it'd be cool to debrief a podcast episode and learn together while we're running. How sick.
I love that idea.
Tell me 2 better best friends than us.
I actually cannot. We go to Run Club together. You have me on as your guest on your podcast. We debrief during Run Club about personal development. I'm confused. So good.
We don't drink alcohol.
We don't drink. We don't go out. We're not going out this time.
No.
Last time we went out.
Last time we were so excited to go out, and now we're so excited to go to bed.
Can't wait. I'm hungry and I want to eat protein and go to sleep.
Yeah. Oh, how times have changed. Mm-hmm. But anyway, all of that to say, thank you so much for coming on. I love you so much and can't wait for you to come on the next one.
I love you too. Thank you.
Thank you guys for listening, and I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope this episode helped you in the way that it helped me, and if it did, then please tune in for the next one on Tuesday. And until then, say happy healing with me. Happy. Wait, we'll do it again. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Happy healing. Peace and love, baby. I love you.
I don't want to stop. I love it. I live here now. I think I said the same exact thing last time.
I think you really did. That was so much fun.
That was so fun. I feel like we have so many things to talk about.
I feel like that was so long.
I know.
It was just, we could take these off.
We should have talked about saying what you need over and over again and then not getting it. And then
You did say it though. You
added
it at the end.
I really hope that you guys feel a part of our family and like you're our best friend also. That's why I open up this space for us, because I want to include you in our life, in my life, and I want you to feel close to us and like you can relate, because at the end of the day, we are just 2 normal, average girls in their 30s living with life struggles. So hopefully you guys could relate. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. And if this episode helped you in the way that it helped me, then please tune in for the next one on Tuesday. And until then, happy healing.